We are here at the Global Fintech Fest, and we have with us today Gopalakrishnan, Chairman of Executive Ventures and Co-Founder of Infosys. Thank you for taking out your time to talk to us, sir. Sir, we hear huge projections for the fintech industry. The revenues are projected to go beyond in 2025. So tell us a little bit about what will fuel this growth in terms of tech, in terms of the approach of fintechs that is changing this year. So what do you think is the growth vector?
See, first of all, as the Indian economy grows and it's expected to become a $10 trillion economy in the next 10 years and $30 trillion economy by 2047, the fintech industry has to grow, will grow and must grow, right? So this GFF, the theme is actually the next decade. And what drives this decade is, of course, emerging technologies like AI, ML, IoT, the issues about cybersecurity, the issues about new forms of interacting with the consumers, using voice and things like that. So emerging technologies are going to drive new products and services to be created to reach more consumers and increasing size of transactions. And over and above this, fintechs will have to also look at global markets, taking our products and services to countries around the world, especially the emerging countries. So, significant opportunities.
Sir, fintechs are also running into a lot of regulatory hurdles. We see many companies falling into that. What does the ecosystem can do better with the government collaboration for this to be, overcome?
So, the important point to realize is that the trust with consumers is very, very important. The trust with all entities, all customers, consumers are very, very important, and that's a responsibility of every business. So if we understand that and make sure that we run our businesses responsibly, ethically, I believe the battle will be easier to win. Now that trust is important as we grow. Similarly, with emerging technologies also, we have to ensure that products and services that we introduce are responsible products, will prevent cyber fraud, cyber crime, etc. So, building trust is very, very important to ensure that the opportunity we take full advantage of. The growth opportunity I talked about, we take full advantage of. Of course, regulators will work with the industry. What is very important to note about the Indian fintech industry is the regulators have stood side by side and worked with the industry to grow this industry. Starting with creating the digital public infrastructure, the regulators have been part of this growth story. And I'm sure that regulators will work with the industry, but industry also must make sure that they are responsible.
So we are talking about fintech going global, but we also today the theme is also inclusivity. So how do we go deeper to the tier 2, to the tier 3, where the connectivity is lower than what we see in the cities? So how do we increase that?
See, fortunately, connectivity is pretty good in India especially, and we have one of the lowest cost telecom infrastructure in the world. So connectivity is good. What is required is to make sure that we are able to reach them in the form factor, in the modality in which they can leverage the system. And we are trying various things. The correspondent model that the regulator introduced in the country allows the bank to go to their homes. Actually, typically in developed countries, the bank will go to the home of the rich people. In India, we flip the model. The bank will go to the home of the poorest of the poor, right? So we are trying to make sure that we are an inclusive country. We are making sure that technology benefits the poorest of the poor, and we need to continue to go on that journey. So, providing services in vernacular languages, providing services using voice response systems, making sure that frauds are reduced. All of these things are required to create an inclusive ecosystem.